Hello, I'm glad you're here. I'm NatsMan, and I'm reading the Bible from beginning to end, from Genesis to Revelations. Please join me in this journey and make God's Word a part of your everyday life. This is video number 33, and today I'm going to be reading a recap of Exodus 38, 39, and 40, and a brief summary of the book of Exodus. So, thank you for joining me, and here we go. Exodus 38. The bronze altar, the basin, and the courtyard are completed. A record is kept of the materials used, gold, silver, and bronze, and all given freely by the people to honor God. In 39, the priestly garments were made, including the ephod, the breastpiece, and the robe. Everything was done exactly as God commanded, and Moses inspected the work and blessed the people for their obedience. And in 40, Moses set up the completed tabernacle. God's glory filled the sanctuary, showing his presence among his people. And from then on, God's cloud guided Israel through the wilderness journey. Now, a brief summary of Exodus. The book of Exodus is the second book of the Bible. It picks up where Genesis left off, and it tells how God delivered his people from slavery in Egypt. He formed them into a nation and gave them his law, and then he came to dwell among them. We began with the Israelites living in Egypt, where they had settled during Joseph's time, and over the generations they multiplied greatly. But a new Pharaoh, who did not know Joseph, grew fearful of their numbers, and he enslaved them, forcing them into harsh labor, and ordered the killing of all newborn Hebrew boys. In the midst of all this suffering, a Levite couple had a baby boy named Moses, who was hidden in a basket on the Nile and rescued by Pharaoh's daughter. He was raised in Pharaoh's household, and Moses grew up with both Hebrew heritage and Egyptian education. As an adult, Moses saw the oppression of his people, and in anger he killed an Egyptian taskmaster. Then he fled for his life. He went to Midian, where he got married and became a shepherd. Then one day God appeared to Moses in a burning bush that was not consumed by fire, by the flames. God revealed his name as I am who I am. And he called Moses to return to Egypt and lead his people to freedom. Despite Moses' fears and excuses, God promised his presence and sent Aaron, Moses' brother, to help. Moses confronted Pharaoh with God's command, "Let my people go." Pharaoh refused, and God sent a series of 10 devastating plagues, turning water to blood, swarms of frogs, gnats, flies, livestock disease, boils, hail, locusts, darkness, and finally, the death of the firstborn. Before the final plague, God gave the Israelites instructions for the first Passover. Each family was to sacrifice a lamb, mark their doorpost with its blood, and eat the meal in haste. And that night the Lord struck down Egypt's firstborn, but passed over the homes marked with blood. Pharaoh finally relented, and the Israelites left in haste. Their journey out of Egypt, however, met a crisis at the Red Sea when Pharaoh changed his mind and pursued them. God miraculously parted the waters, allowing Israel to cross on dry ground. When the Egyptians followed, the waters returned and drowned them. Israel celebrated God's mighty deliverance in song, but their gratitude was short-lived. In the wilderness, the people grumbled about food and water, and God provided manna from heaven, quail for meat, and water from a rock. At Mount Sinai, God called Moses up the mountain and gave the 10 Commandments, along with many other laws that would shape Israel and its covenant people. The heart of the covenant was that God would be their God. they would be his people, and they would live in obedience to his word. God also gave detailed instructions for building the tabernacle, a portable sanctuary where his presence would dwell among them. The design was filled with meaning: gold-covered furniture, the Ark of the Covenant, and the most holy place, all pointing to God's holiness and the need for atonement. Yet even before Moses came down from the mountain, the people sinned gravely by making a golden calf to worship. Moses interceded for them, and God, though angry, showed mercy. The covenant was renewed, and the people gave generously of their possessions and skills to build the tabernacle exactly as God had commanded. The book closes with the tabernacle being completed and the glory of the Lord filling it, a visible sign that God was dwelling with his people. His presence would guide them through the wilderness by a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, till they reached the land he had promised to their ancestors. Exodus reveals God as the faithful deliverer who keeps his promises. It shows his power over all false gods, his holiness in giving the law, his mercy in forgiving, and his desire to dwell among his people. The rescue from Egypt becomes the central act of salvation in the Old Testament, foreshadowing the greater deliverance found in Jesus Christ, our Passover Lamb. And with that, we will move on in the next video to Leviticus. I want to thank you for watching, for joining me in this project, this endeavor, to read the entire Bible. I hope you enjoyed listening as much as I enjoyed reading it. Please feel free to comment if you so desire, and also please subscribe and give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I hope you come back for the next video, and until then, thank you, and I hope you have a blessed day. I'm NatsMan, and I am out.